2018, the Department of Defense had 541 confirmed or pending suicide deaths. 325 of those deaths were among active duty service members. Of the factors leading to Army suicides, marital issues, mental health, financial issues, and life-changing events in our careers are often at play. Department of Defense soldiers, civilians, and family members interact with each other daily, but we are often unaware of the tremendous weight that such events carry. Relationship stressors such as failed or failing intimate partner relationships are frequent risk factors for suicide. And you'll no longer burn to be brothers in arms. Studies have found that 40% of suicide cases had experienced a failed relationship within 90 days. Issues with romantic partners, close friends, and family members were the most common denominators in these situations. Research studies on military suicides indicate that for some individuals, financial stress can increase vulnerabilities. Financial difficulties, including excessive debt and bankruptcy, were reported for 7.4% of active duty service members who had died by suicide. Approximately 30% of active duty service members who died by suicide had administrative or legal difficulties in the 90 days prior to their death. Life-changing events in the military include permanent change of station, loss of rank, peer-to-peer criticism, and more. These events unsettle us from our daily habits and routines and can create a downward spiral. Department of Defense research determined that over half of the individuals who died by suicide did not have a behavioral health diagnosis. But we live in different worlds. This does not mean that these individuals were not struggling with behavioral health issues or major stressors in their lives. The stigma of seeking help for behavioral health issues is common within the Department of Defense, and failure to reach out can have dire consequences. Without help, the weight of our problems can become too much for us to handle, but we are not alone. Now the sun's gone to hell. We must be more connected with each other. Listen with an empathetic heart. Recognize the signs and invisible weights that we all carry. And finally, know that we are members of a squad who understand that people matter. My name is Sergeant Fortune, and this is my story. Kinda, I guess, to stay in line with things, keep things in perspective, it's all about understanding the rocks, the invisible, the baggage and the scars and the things that are there, but you can't identify because they're not yours, right? Everybody sees their own, but they don't see everybody else's. I think that's a thing through my life, even before the Army, up through during the Army. None of my leadership's ever seen it. My friends don't ever see it. The experiences that I've gone through and how they've affected me, and in some cases encouraged growth within myself, and in other cases held me back, put me through tough times. I moved to the United States from Toronto, Canada at the age of 6. I'm always a man-to-man online. It's crazy how far and wide the internet can bring people together from different corners of the world, but that's how it happened. Next thing I know, I find myself, on a Greyhound bus, fall asleep, take a nap, wake up, I'm in a Georgia Greyhound station, and I get to know a whole new family. That's that was a big change, and it wasn't just big for me. It's big for my brother, and it was big for my mother. It was big for everyone that we interacted with, everyone, whose family we had now just become a part of. And I think she wore it well for a really long time, but it ultimately took its toll on her. About 7 years down the line, she committed suicide on Father's Day 2006. And on Father's Day, she took a handgun and shot herself in the heart. And I wasn't there to see it personally, and I'm glad I wasn't, but my brother was. And that still is tough to deal with. A, knowing that I, looking back, had seen signs. Even at the age of 13, I could see things. And B, knowing that I can't take that experience away from someone else that I cared deeply about. And I remember I was outside of my grandmother's house when my uncle came and he broke the news to me. And I don't remember, for a couple days after that, I was told that I just laid in the hall and cried. I remember in the weeks that followed, as life gradually returned to normal, I had to walk through the hallways at school and pass by people who had no idea. I'm 13. They don't have any idea either. Even if I were to tell them, they don't have a clue. But the whole time, coming into the Army, their big pushes, suicide awareness, sharp, equal opportunity, the whole nine. But suicide stuck out to me specifically, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of take my experiences from my early life and how I grew because of it. And now I'm surrounded by people who could actually benefit from my experiences and from my knowledge. And I've used those experiences. I've tailored my approach to helping people get through tough times based on the knowledge that I've had, based on my own experience. At the end of the day, people take it differently. Your issues might hurt you a little bit harder than it would hurt me if it were me going through them. And that's something we have to see. I guess kind of trying to bring it back around full circle here. We don't know just how heavy those invisible weights are on people's backs. We know that they're there, but we don't know how heavy they are to those people. So I think it's important to understand that everybody has a weight that they carry. It's not always the same person to person. It weighs a different amount from me to you to the next man. But we've got to be involved and understand. Ask the questions. Learn the people. Learn their weight. Learn how it affects them. Just care.
Hi, I'm Brigadier General Kevin Admiral, the Armor School Commandant. And I am Command Sergeant Major Tony Town, the Armor School Command Sergeant Major. Today we would like to discuss suicide and how it has impacted the lives of our most valuable asset, our soldiers, civilians, and family members. Over the past 4 years, over 700 soldiers have committed suicide. This is heartbreaking and simply cannot continue.
Some ways we have to tackle this problem is by showing that you care, by getting to truly know your teammates and their families, not being judgmental, promoting the value of life, and being empathetic.
Today in this video, we've tried to capture the invisible life stressors that significantly impact our soldiers, civilians, and families.
Working together, we must build trust and unit cohesion to ensure the support is there for every member of our squad. Armor ready.